Hi guys, welcome back to Creative Frenzy. Okay, so today I wanted to show you how to get a little bit more out of your ripped apart books. So a lot of us will use the text and some of the blank pages for pockets and things like that. But because a lot of these books are inexpensive, they have this really darker color to it instead of just plain white copy paper like this. So when you put them together, there's a huge difference in how they look. This saves on inking the edges if you didn't want to, or even coffee dyeing your papers and things like that. And you get to use more of your pages. So a lot of us will just take off all these edges and we either make another page out of it, or we make little strips. Or anyway, I want to show you something that I like to do with it. So without further ado, these are the ones I worked on the other day. These are the labels that I'm talking about, so I just wanted to show them to you, and I wanted to try a few other ones that I wanted to do. So the way I store my labels is usually in this tin for the most part. I just have a lot of little ones and some different ones. I have some little paper book plates. I don't know what I'm going to use them for yet, but this is done on sticker paper. Okay, so let's see, to compare the two. This is the same color ink, but if you put it onto book page, yes, it's thinner, but it has a really distinct quality to it. So it's a lot more vintage looking without having to ink and things like that. Obviously, you could still ink it. You do you. But I just wanted a variety of different papers to see what I could do. And my printer right now is out of colored ink, so I figure, waste not, want not, and we'll try it in a different way. And I also wanted to try some labels on some different papers. So I wanted to try some on packaging, on some text, and things like that. So we have a variety here, so we can make a bunch of different ones. And I figure I'd just take you along with me. And I wanted to try a few different styles. So that's what I'm going to do. So a lot of us have glue books and things like that, but we have all these little bits that are left over when we're done, and I like using them because they have that nice darker patina on them. So that's what I'm going to do. So today I'm just using this stamp set. I got it off of AliExpress. I'm sure Amazon has them too. You can get them just about anywhere these days. The two I use the most, or three for the most part, is this one, and this one. I do have some of the square ones, and the circle ones is just too difficult for me to cut out cleanly, so I'll probably use that for something else. But 1, 2, 3 for the most part, and then sometimes this one. It depends on what shape you really want. But for the most, I really, really like the teeny tiny ones and these long ones. And this one you can sort of write the date on it. And I don't know, it's kind of cool. So that's what I'm going to use. If you don't have Distress ink or even archival ink, go to the dollar store and get yourself just a regular stamp pad. I have this one, it's a double one, it's a red and a blue. It's just office stationery basically, and this is a different kind of blue. It gives it a really cool retro look. So if you don't have a lot of colors, if you don't have Distress inks, by all means, get something inexpensive from the stationery aisle at the dollar store. It's easy peasy. Okay, let's get to making. So I really like the idea of text and things like that, but I just wanted to go and do some plain ones. So this is just a regular office stamp pad. When my husband's office shut down many years ago, he brought home all these things, and I get to use them, which is nice. So just there we go. And it's okay if it doesn't stamp perfectly because it gives it more of a vintage look, okay? But that's what I like about this, all right? And then all these spaces in between, paragraphs, you can stamp in there. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. It's just a little bit of ink you wasted. It's not the big deal. You know, you just go like that, and you can use it or not. Sometimes it's just cool with a little bit of text on it. Probably rip your page first. But anyway, so if you were to cut it out, it probably wouldn't be too bad. You can always sort of eyeball it. And if you don't like it, I don't, we'll just leave it alone. Okay. So I could use this for still a glue strip and things like that. Let's try the red. Yeah. See, this red is a really nice, it's just plain old office stamp pad, which is pretty cool. And with the clear acrylic blocks, you can really get close to the edge. Now, what you could do, if you liked it, you could just go like this, and then you have a little bit of text instead of stamping later, and then you can still cut them out. You can just randomly go like that and then cut them out, and then you have a really cool kind of text. Be careful what it says, because you don't want swear words. Okay. But that's kind of cool. So that label could be used on a larger one or as a layering piece, you know, things like that. And the other way I like to use it is, so a lot of these will have chapters and numbers and things like that. So this is just a chapter book. So a lot of these spaces like this, I would use for, I'd tear this one out and I would use this whole section for labels. I mean, waste not, want not, right? So we'll do that one. And then you can still use this side, because here's a number that you can then incorporate into your label design. So I would just line it up very nicely. It's the beauty of clear acrylic. And sometimes you'll stamp off the edge. It's okay. You can pick different words in the forest. I don't know. You can do all different kinds of things. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but it's just a stamp, right? So you can just try it out and see if there's enough space. So here, I don't know if there's enough space for this. So you can set it off to one side. That's kind of cool. You can center it. You can do it whichever way you like. You can cut it, because sometimes it looks nice when it goes off the edge. Let's see if we can do another one that doesn't go off the edge. That'd be even better. You get the idea. Simple enough, and it's a lot of fun to sort of take different aspects of a book and use them in different areas. So what I'll do is I'll just stamp a bunch on here. And then we'll do some other sizes. This one here. Now you can fussy cut these right away if you want, or you can save these for later and fussy cut them whenever you feel like. So if you're watching YouTube or Netflix or Disney Plus, you know, you can do a bunch of fussy cutting. So that's how I like to use a lot of my book pages up. Okay, and if you happen to go off the edge, it's okay, then skip that one. It's okay. Not the end of the world. So now you have this lovely thin paper that has its own patina already, and it's not stark white like copy paper or even sticker paper. And you don't have to create coffee dyed paper with this, or you don't have to ink them. You don't have to do a masterboard and then print on it or whatever. This is more fun, I think, personally. And if you have a dictionary, you can make a bunch of dictionary stickers, not stickers, but labels. So there's not a whole lot of space in between these, so depending what kind of dictionary you have. But I like this one. It's just a cheapy one from the dollar store, from, you know, for high school kind of thing. And then you can just, even something like this. So if you were to create a label for that, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to use my archival ink for this one. You can just use whatever, but you can just, let's see, oops, sorry, I did not mean to move that. And then you can cut that out. So you can just place random stickers on there, or stamps rather, not stickers. Why do I keep saying stickers? But that way you don't have to do a whole lot of other stamping on top of that. So you can just have fun. And then when you cut it out, it has a really cool effect. Oops. Of course you can layer these quite nicely. So I did cut out another one. Yeah, there we go. So you can go like this, you can layer them, you could do a plain one with that, you know, that kind of thing. So I thought it was really cool. And then the other way I use it is obviously the numbers. So these ones have the numbers in the center, so it's a little bit easier to line up your numbers. So you can offset it either to the left or to the right, whichever way you want to do it. Or you can keep it in the center. And then you can do a bunch of them. Only on one side, obviously, because, you know, double-sided paper. But you get the drift, right? So that's how I would use that. And then you can still use the rest of the papers for other projects. So I wasn't sure if I was going to do a video today because it's been a very rough week in our household. Our family dog has passed away. He got sick last week and he deteriorated very quickly. So there you go. When we brought him to the vet on Monday, she had informed us that he had a very aggressive cancerous tumor in his mouth, and there was no way that could be fixed. He was 11 years old already, and he would not have survived the surgery. So anyway, yeah, that was my week. So it's been pretty hard, but I'm slowly getting a little bit better. So I figured I'd do a video and not leave some of you hanging. And I wasn't sure what to do it on, so I just decided to do something very simple that I don't have to worry about and feel, you know, too out of place with the way my week has been going. So another way to do this is to use stamps. So if you didn't want plain labels, you could obviously use a cute little stamp. This is just, again, from AliExpress. That's where I get most of my stamps from. You can get them off of Amazon. Most people buy from AliExpress in bulk and then sell it on Amazon more expensive, as far as I can tell. So here I'm going to do one with some wording in behind, okay? And then I will do a plain one over here. And then we'll see how that looks, okay? And then we can go in with our other stamp. My stamp blocks are so dirty. So you could use the square ones for this, because this little mushroom is really kind of cute the way it is. You could do different color, whatever you feel like doing. So what you can do is you can offset it like this or like this. So you have a bit of the writing in behind. And then when you go to cut it out, you have basically like a mini collage. So you can do a little bit in the corner. You could do it any which way you want. So you still have room for something else. But it's already on a nice darker background, so it has a really nice vintage feel. So let's cut that out and see how that looks. I like that. Now this stamp I don't use very often because cutting it out, it takes a little bit more work. But it does look really cute when it's done. So there, another little label. And you didn't have to do too much. You just, you know, choose something fun and go with it. I'm just trying to build up my stash of labels so that I can put them all together. And these can be used for anything. You can use them on master boards for, you know, for printing things later on. It's entirely up to you. And you have fun with your stamps and fun with labels and come up with all different kinds of things. But there you have a couple of cute ones. So let's see. Here's this one too. Just going to try and keep them all sort of together so you can see how it looks. So I'll put that aside. Let's see, what else can we use? Okay, so let's say you don't have book page. I'm sure most of us do. If you're a junk journaler, you probably do. But if you don't, maybe some graph paper would be really pretty. You could do the same thing. Again, I'm just experimenting because I just want to not think. It's just a no-brainer thing, right? So it's just nice to be able to do something completely different. So I'm going to use this cute little rabbit. Again, I got this stamp set from AliExpress. It's a really cute woodland one. It's adorable. I'm sure you can find all different kinds. Now, some of these labels are quite small, and that is okay because you don't have to have the whole rabbit in your label. So what you can do is you could just do a partial one, okay, or you could do partial this way. So it all depends on how you feel. You can make a bunch of variety of different sizes. So I'm just going to offset it a little bit. And then, yes, the tail gets cut off, but that's okay. But you have this lovely graph paper in behind. You could do this on coffee dyed paper. You could do this on scrapbook paper. That would be really pretty. You know, if you have a nice floral print or something like that. But if you just have like plain copy paper, that's okay too. Because these labels, you know, you can always color them in later on, or just having the image on it on its own is really cute. Okay, so I really like that. That's cute. All right, so let's say you don't have graph paper. Maybe you have lined paper. I have some here, so I'm going to do some lined paper. And then I'm going to do a little owl. I like this. Oh, I don't think I've taken it off yet. There we go. This owl is so cute. So I'm going to do this one in probably this way. There we go. So if you just do part of it, right, when you go to put your, I'm going to use my green so it looks more woodsy kind of thing. You can always just lay them over top and see how it's going to look. So you could just do a partial, kind of like this one. You could use the whole owl or just part of it. You can just cut out the rest. So I'm just going to use part of it. Now it would have not shown up too easily if I had done it in black, but that's okay. There we go. Now we could do it in green. Let's see how that looks. Maybe it'll be better if we just do it in green. Just use part of it. Let's just go like that. Oh, yeah, that's better. So if you use the same color, you have a better chance of it not showing up so much in the framework, which is probably more desirable for many people, but that's okay too. And of course, if you wanted these a little bit darker, you could do the inking in the brown, you know, things like that. Let's see, I have some Citrusolve paper here, some collage paper I made on my own. So a lot of this is white space, and here is where all the magic is. So I might put some stamps on here, some labels, so that I can use those. Cover up those a bit. Excuse me. So I'll probably use these in black. So you can go part way. It depends on how much you want to see. So that really makes a cool artistic kind of label. And this is magazine page, so it could, you know, have more of a shine to it. If you didn't like that, then, you know, you could always photocopy it and then do something else with it. It's really cool. I probably could have gone straighter, but, you know, it is what it is. You could use the words if you wanted to. I cut a few of these out. I'll just cover that up for now. And then I'll show you a close-up of how that, because you don't really know until you start cutting the labels out. And then that's where the real magic happens, is when you see it all in its own little entity. but because it has Citrusolve solution on there, it has a darker patina to it because the ink on the pages bled a little bit. So that's really cool. So there's that one. Let's see, what else do we have? So packing paper with just some white paint splatters. That works too, because why not? Let's do one of those. Because again, you know, you can pick different areas to use. Just let it sit for a second or two. And then when you go to cut it out, it just has a different feel altogether. And I'll probably continue this for quite some time, but you know, this is what I do when I need to just do something that I don't have to think too hard. But there's another different type of label. Let's see, I also have a jelly print. So let's do a jelly print. So here's one of my jelly prints. It's really bright, but I think for a summer page, or, you know, I don't know, something that requires something a little bit more bright, this is perfect for it. Again, you can pick and choose how much of anything you want. This has a little bit of gold in it, so it's kind of pretty to use on a card or wherever you feel like using these labels. But your jelly prints, you know, you don't just have to make pages out of them, you can make them into labels. This is a very simple way of doing it. And it doesn't require a photocopier or anything like that. You can just put them all on there. Now, if you did want to, if you liked your paper like this and you're, unlike me, you know, you have actual printer ink in your printer, you could do a whole bunch of stamping like this on it and then photocopy it, and then you can have a perpetual, you know, it's basically a masterboard and you can use it wherever and whenever you liked. So, but there we have another one. All right, and then I think that is it. Here's some watercolor. I don't know. I just used whatever leftover paint I had on some watercolor paper, or sketch pad paper, really. It's thin enough, but you can pick and choose on there too. And maybe what we'll do is we'll do in green. Let's see. Kind of like purple and green. So you can just pick and choose wherever. So here's a meeting of all the colors. And if you're crooked, it doesn't matter because it's watercolor, right? And it has a little bit of a sheen to it. I made my own like shimmer sprays and I was just experimenting. So I'm sure if you look through your paper stash, you know, get some of these old things out and you can use them for labels. You store them into a box, you can make an ephemera holder, you can do whatever you feel like. You know, use an old chocolate box, a Ferrero Rocher box, whatever, and then just make a bunch of them. And then you can do all different kinds of things with them. So anyway, I think that is pretty much it. I have done quite a few different types. So we have the gel print, packing paper, watercolor off paper, Citrusolve paper on National Geographic paper, some lined paper, old dictionary, graph paper, another old dictionary, and then just your old tear-apart novels that, you know, have a wonderful patina to them. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.